Hey guys, I hope you are having a wonderful day. This is the first day, actually the first hour of the 6.1 patch. And not surprisingly, considering everything that I've been doing in the past month or so, the very first thing that I'm gonna do is not the MSQ. I'm gonna save that for Saturday for our live streams. So if you haven't been watching my live streams before, make sure to tune in for that because we're gonna go through the MSQ together. But I just couldn't wait, and I decided to go through that final role quest today. I'd say that the roadmap to your end destination, which is your final what is this, like the role quest end game thing, is very very long. You need like what, 5 different jobs that are of 5 different specs to get there, and that's kind of what I was doing since Endwalker launched. I tried to get like 5 different jobs leveled up and do their respective role quests so that I could do this whenever it launches, and I'm so very excited for it. So today we are going to jump straight into that. Okay, I guess this is where we go. We go to that same room. Oh, there actually is people who are doing the same thing. I did not expect a lot of them. So basically, I guess we're seeing the team of people who we've previously seen in the other role quest. I think this is going to be super exciting. The quest is called Bitter Snow. It's a level 90 quest. The glint in Sherbat's eyes suggests she was hoping you might pass through, and here we are. Well, if it isn't V, an all-around good egg and champion of, well, the whole world, I suppose. Word travels fast, my friend. We've heard all about your exploits defeating the blasphemies that plagued the good people of Eorzea and Doma. Sadly, there are other fell beasts that yet want for slaying, but fear not. Our efforts to bring them low proceed apace, and we've had naught but glad tidings from our allies. Perhaps the most surprising report came from Warlith, where soldiers led by the infamous Black Wolf fought alongside Alamegan troops for yet another hard-earned victory. Reports from Garlemald, however, suggest another blasphemy threat lurks in the snows, and we received a petition for assistance. Okay, so I guess this is gonna be like our blasphemy final boss of a sort. Strange, don't you think? When the effects of the final days began to spread in earnest, we encountered a great many monsters in Garlemald, but never a blasphemy. And to make matters worse, they say the Garleans who chose to remain and rebuild have begun transforming into yet more hideous creatures. Oh, that's not good at all. From what I understand, it was you and your comrades who brought an end to the source of the final days. Is that right? Even so, it would appear its effects will linger a while longer. Until this malevolent influence on Akasa subsides, I dare say this won't be the last time we hear of such tidings. As for the blasphemy, we have reason to believe it is a great deal stronger than any we've faced thus far. Your strength and experience would prove quite valuable, if you're willing to help, of course. For some help, is the Isambard contingent not equipped to handle this threat? Do you know what? I normally would have been the jerk who chooses the second over the first, but today I'm just so excited. I really just want to go and do this story. So today I'm going to be nice. Truly, our contacts in Sharland will be thrilled to hear it. Though they did not explicitly request your presence, it was clear from the first they were hoping for it. Maybe they can't pay me enough. Huh. Though I may be frank, I was not expecting Sharland of all places to be so concerned with the present state of Garlemald, with their strict policies on non-intervention. Perhaps we'll find out the reason before this is all over. But that's an inquiry for another time. I'll not keep you any longer. Once you arrive in Garlemald, I should think the intelligence officer stationed there will be more than happy to apprise you of the situation. Let's go! Bitter Snow. We should have known where we're going. Oh, that's expensive. Do I have my I don't have my FC buffs turned on. Okay, we'll fix that. It's like that ride to Garlemald is costing me a fortune. Fortune. There we go. Okay, haven't played since yesterday. There's not a lot of people doing this kind of content first before the MSQ, but you can find some odd people here and there, myself included. Still do. V. It's an honor to have you with us, miss. I presume you've come to assist in our hunt for the blasphemy. Yes. Maxim and Lucia will be pleased to hear it if you would come this way. Oh, our first cutscene of the 6.1! I decided to go as Pally. Nothing else really kind of feels like home. But I don't know. Like maybe we just end up playing as someone else. Who knows? It's good to see you, V, though I wish it were under more fortuitous circumstances. We were reluctant to call upon you, knowing you but recently returned from the far reaches of the heavens, but we are no less glad from your aid. Now then, I believe it best if the man who first discovered this blasphemy explained the situation. What are we calling? Oh, wow! Ah, V, good. We may forgo introductions then. Thank you for answering our call for assistance. As for the situation at hand, it concerns a joint effort between the Forum and the Loperids to find a new purpose for the moon. While there's no longer a need for a vessel to evacuate the star, we believe the moon may yet prove of use to the people of Etheirys. After much contemplation, a rather ingenious proposal was put forward to transform the moon into a repository for man's knowledge, an archive of hitherto unseen scale. Charlan has long had the honor of boasting incomparable repositories of the world's knowledge, but it is far from perfect. Should calamity befall us, natural or otherwise, the wisdom of ages we have long labored to preserve would be lost. So basically, the Charlans decided to start treating the moon like a storage room because they have too many books in Charlan, so they're like, maybe we could just like move our stuff there and call it an archive of knowledge and like trick the rabbits into lending us their space so that we can harbor more stuff. Maybe. But the moon is beyond any such risk. What's more, it is beyond the jurisdiction of any one nation. Thus, did we consult the allied nations of Eorzea, the Far East, and Radzad Hun. They agreed to assembling a survey team to make measure of the moon and its potential as a repository. Ooh. Our plans for assessments were forestalled, however, by the presence of an entity we believe to be a blasphemy in the Tower of Babel. Tower of Babel is the dungeon that we went to first, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the first one. No, the first one was the Tower of Zod, I think. Claims of Garlean citizens transforming into monsters shortly after its discovery only gave further credence to our initial supposition. But we've not only ill tidings to share. Reinforcements have been dispatched to aid us in quelling the blasphemy threat. Lord Artorial and a member of Gridania's keepers of the Entwined Serpents have already begun an investigation into the catalyst of these transformations. Though the skies no longer burn and the spread of this affliction is much curtailed? I don't know that word. We must remain vigilant. Until the blasphemy threat has been quelled, Alphino and LSA have graciously offered to help keep calm the people of Tertium while we attend to the people here. Where are we gonna go? But the matter of the blasphemy is not so easily resolved, I'm afraid. We recently met with certain complications that have hindered our plans. Yugini and Fordola are presently deliberating how best to resolve the situation. Perhaps it would be best if you heard the details directly from them. I should like to join you if I may. As this endeavor was originally undertaken on Charlan's behalf, I feel it is my responsibility to see this through to its conclusion. Not sure if I really want to hang out with him, but it is what it is. I kind of don't hate him as much as I used to, though. I suppose like he's a good egg, but we almost threw it away because we thought it was a rotten one. Oh, it's conveniently close. Oh, I love this mount. Oh, I can fly here. Ooh, I unlocked flying. Haha. Actually, only just remember that. I had flying locked for ages because I was too lazy. I did not expect to see you here, of all places, but I am no less glad for your presence. I presume the word of the blasphemy is what brought you here, in which case I believe it may be best if a member of the Reconnaissance Team's guard explained the situation. Wow! An acquaintance of yours, of course! Long time no see, Lords. Aren't you the captain of the Company of Heroes? I mean, he could still be the captain and still be here, so. I'd heard tell you were the worldly sword, but bugger me if I know where you heard my name before. I'm just a lowly sword for high. Oh, okay, hoping to fatten my purse with a touch of mercenary work after taking my leave from Limsa. The job sounded simple enough, but well, I'm sure you wouldn't be here if it were. Eh? But you didn't come all this way to hear about me, did you? The blasphemy we were after is making its nest in the upper reaches of the Tower of Babel, the auxiliary sector, I believe it was. But it wasn't alone. A sizable horde of beasts were circling around about like knights protecting their queen. Naturally, we thought to strike from a distance before engaging in earnest, but not a single bullet reached its mark. They were protected by some matter of mystical shroud, as far as I could figure. Without a keen eye for magic, I don't see anyone getting through. By the time we understood the futility of the situation, we'd been spotted. Retreat was our only option. Pains me to say it, but there won't be any brute forcing a way through this one. My understanding was that once transformed, these blasphemies are completely devoid of ether. With what energies could it create such a barrier? That's the question, isn't it? My first thought was some heretofore unknown technique for conjuring shields. Needless to say, I'm out of my depth when it comes to matters of magic. Which is precisely why I plan to speak with the Elder Cecile when she arrives. If anyone can help us find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protection, it's her. In the meantime, could we trouble you to help with a not so small matter of people changing into beasts? The blasphemy's horde was large enough when we first found it. We can't afford for more to join its ranks. Very well. We shall reconvene with Lord Artorial and discuss strategy. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Before you go, there's something else you should know about the tower. From the moment we set foot inside, I could swear there was someone or something watching us. I shrugged it off, thinking it a figment of my imagination, but in hindsight, I'm not so sure. Creepy. Nothing to worry ourselves about now, but best keep on your guard when we do finally return to the tower. Oh, there's gonna be like a series of quests, I suppose. I thought it was just gonna be like one long one. Where do we go? Oh, what? Oh, never mind. Ah, Vee, it is good to have you with us, my friend. Indeed, the road before us is not an easy one, and a woman of your talents will prove invaluable to our efforts. We but recently returned from Reconnaissance, wherein we made a few rather surprising discoveries. First and foremost, we were pleased to discover that no one residing within Camp Broken Glass or Tertium have turned, no doubt thanks to the concerted efforts of Maxima, Atheno, and Alize. However, we have reason to believe that those who did turn all hail from Locus Amenas. You mean Corvus, the Garlean's ancestral home? The very same. When the ill effects of the final days began to manifest there, a number of Garlean refugees from the region sought sanctuary in Garlemald. But the capital was already in ruins when they arrived. They were offered asylum, but many refused and instead chose to fend for themselves on the outskirts of the city. We are of a mind to go and speak with them directly if you would care to join us. Perhaps together we can learn what of their recent circumstances has triggered such terrible change among their people. Let's go. Frozen Hope. Artorial is eager to begin his inquiry. What is this we got? Oh, okay. Buffs. Potions! Time being of the essence, I believe it prudent we split into two groups and cover as much ground as we may as quickly as possible. If you and Master For again Fortunal would inquire after the people at Victor's spoils. The two of us shall see what we may learn at Liminal Station 4. When you have finished, pray meet us there. Oh no! Victor Spoils is to the east of here. Yes, let us be off. Oh no! Where? Okay. Is that closer to actually port there? I wonder. I hope not. So we're gonna fly in our fat cat. See, I still stand by what I said in the video that I recently did, like the Endwalker, like the 6 point what was it, the 6.0 review. I still think the Garlemald is a little too empty. And I understand why it kind of sort of needs to be because it's supposed to represent a desolate place, but it is kind of, I don't know, it was a bit boring to be in. The story was good, but the environment to me is like, I don't know, it's probably the only zone where I think the environment is a bit lacking. Or maybe I'm just completely biased because I hate snow. That's also a thing. That they should choose to reside here in the cold, I can but presume they will not be amenable to conversation. Even so, we must not be deterred. Come. Okay, I don't need to, like, follow him or something. We're not gonna walk in Endwalker? What? Oh, is this the place? Oh, is this the place where those two sisters used to hide? Kind of looks like it. I think this is where it was. Can't remember. Weary refugee. Talk. What is there to talk about? We have no home, no future, nothing. This doom spells the end for us all. Well, they're not really residing here. They're like wallowing in desperation. Come to hear our grievances, have you? We're more than you have time to hear them, I'm sure. We've lost not one but two homes. Our loved ones, our livelihood. There's nothing left. I served my time with the military. For what? To lose all my friends, my son, and there was naught to show for it but our claim to locus amonis. Or so we thought. Calamity was visited upon us for reasons we know not, and when we thought to flee, it followed on our heels to Garlemald, ruin and ash at every turn. Where's the third guy? Oh. Despondent refugee. I don't know what despondent means. Can't imagine why you or anyone else would feign interest in our troubles, but if you insist, you'll find a great many people here were in the military at one time or another, some retiring with horrors and others without. Sadly, I'm one of the latter, bore one too many scars in battle. Even so, my contributions were enough to warrant leave to move to Locus Amenas. It was a land of warmth and bounty. The Corrosive Rebellion admittedly proved troublesome for a time, but it didn't take long for the second region, not region, legion, to quell their uprising. You could practically drown in the calm and quiet. And then one day, the skies came alive with flame. We were overrun by all manner of foul beasts, born of our brothers and sisters. The second legion barely had time to assemble their forces before they were overrun and snuffed out. We barely escaped with our lives. But we were greeted with only with more rack and ruin on our arrival here, and we've not the strength to take our home back from the Corvosi a second time. There's nothing left for us anywhere. Did you learn aught of how they came to be in such dire straits? Movie time! It's the saddest music you can imagine. I see. I heard much of the same. The military forces of Locus Amenas were defeated in the wake of the final days. Desperate to survive, they naturally fled to Garlemald seeking sanctuary. It was their hope the might of the Empire would allow them to reclaim the home they were forced to abandon, but the capital was already in ruin when they arrived. Needless to say, the lands they have long believed to be the ancestral home of the Garland people may remain forever lost to them. Those unfamiliar with history would believe they have always resided in the bitter cold climes of northern Insabard. That was only after the Corvosi invaded 800 years prior. With the advent of Magitek, I imagine it was all too easy for Emperor Solus to rally his people and take back what they believed to be rightfully theirs. Yet history would tell us true. that the land they call Locus Jimenez has been known by other names and served as home to myriad peoples. Indeed, one need only look back to the Alagans' reign in the Third Astral Era to give the lie to the Galilean claims of sovereignty. Yet, even had they such ancestral ties to Locus Jimenez, Anticendas cannot justify their animosity to foreign peoples. Animosity poorly veiled by delusions of justice, as has been the case for so many nations throughout history, where that man had the sense and the strength of will to break free from such chains of hatred. Help! Someone help! They've turned! Wait, who turned? Oh, I hope it's not the refugees that we just talked to. Another monster! Quickly, we have a moment to lose. Are we gonna hear the stressful music now? It's about time. Oh, it's probably one of them. Sullen refugee? So it's not this one, but it's probably another one. One of my mates seemed unwell, so I thought to come over and look in on him. Next thing I knew, he no one appears to be injured. Did he not attack? He just walked off in the direction of the tower, in a daze, as it was calling to him. He could not have gone far. If you would go after him, I will remain here and see that all are accounted for. Okay, so maybe he had enough sense in him to not want to hurt his friends. We've seen other blasphemies act like that, so I'm not too surprised, but this one is just horrendous. Why are you so gross? Okay. Okay, we can solo this. It's all good. Wow, it feels like cutting through butter. What? What have you done to Pally? Square Enix? That it? That was our blasphemy? That's not our final blasphemy though. The beast is slain then. Thank the heavens. For a blessing no others have turned, and a measure of calm has been restored, if only for the moment. Witnesses were able to offer a clue as to the source of the transformation. They claimed the afflicted was listening to this radio. Even now, it continues to play the same cryptic message. Is that the same radio we had, during the MSQ? Empire no more. Never again rise ashes. Though distorted by radio static, you can hear a voice saying, "The Empire is no more. Never again shall it rise from the ashes." But how is this possible? There are no facilities left standing that could possibly deliver a broadcast. And it was capable of sending such a message. Last time this happened, the signal came from Tower of Babel. I think this is gonna be very obvious because that directly connects us to the place that they already said that we would go. So, be that as it may, Anima is no more, and the Tower of Babel has fallen into disrepair by your hand, no less. Which begs the question: who, or perhaps what, could be behind this? V, Master Falchinal, moment if you would. Oh, everyone's here. Shortly after we finished our inquiry at Liminal Station 4, Lord Amarek and Admiral Merlewood arrived and requested an audience. Apologies for our late arrival. Knowing firsthand the devastation of which blasphemies are capable, I discussed the matter with the Admiral, and we were of one mind that the situation warranted our immediate presence. Is it safe to presume a representative of the survey team has already arrived? Indeed I have. Thank you for coming all this way on such short notice. Recent events here at the camp have proved most enlightening. Well, we now have two of the hottest people of the Eorzea working with us. We cannot possibly fail. And this is the aforementioned radio. Empire no more. Never again rise ashes. A harsh reminder of their misfortune, sufficient to push some wayward few over the edge, it would seem. Yeah, it's like rubbing salt into the wound. You have no home! You have no home! Yet there still remains the question of who is sending this message and from where. Glory, everlasting Garlemald. For glory everlasting for Garlemald. No, it couldn't be. You recognize this message? A mantra often spoken by Lord Nerva. Anyone who lived in the provinces under his authority could scarcely forget those words. He sought to claim the throne after the assassination of Emperor Varus that he not. After civil war broke out, he all but disappeared according to the intelligence we managed to gather. How could he have managed to breach a tower undetected? To have done so and remain unnoticed by the creatures infesting the tower seems a nigh impossible task, unless... Do you think the voice on the radio is the blasphemy? Do you think the voice on the radio is Nara? It might be both! You know? What if he turned and he's now able to do it just like Anima? I don't know. I do, and as it was with Anima, these radios are somehow attuned to whatever signal it emits from the tower. What's more, I believe the true identity of the blasphemy is Nerva. Robbed of the throne and forced to watch the empire he longed to command crumble before his very eyes. If such loss did not draw him to the same fate as Quintus, the despair he felt no doubt overcame and turned him. Aw, that's such a cool plot. Nerva's delusions of grandeur aside, the Garlean's plight sounds not unlike the Sahagin, desperate to preserve their spawning grounds. Indeed, though unscrupulous by any measure, the Garleans found solidarity in their ideology, as did the people of Ishgard in the church. Adrift without home or purpose, it is all too easy for despair to take hold. Would that a remedy were as simple as offering them land as we did the Sahagin? In all likelihood, the Garleans would refuse to settle for aught less than what they believed to be their ancestral homeland of Locus Amenas, a claim the Corvosi would readily take arms to denounce. We would do well not to further fan the flames of animosity twixt them. Then perhaps at the very least we can offer them peace of mind and a means to regain some semblance of stability in their lives. To offer them true comfort and stability, Garlemald must be rebuilt. I mean, at this point, is it too greedy to expect to continue to, inhabit the same land you think is yours and, try to rebuild it? Or do you settle for, being a refugee and then go from there and think about, I don't know, how you're going to rebuild once you're back on your feet? I don't know. But I get where they're coming from. Like, they're not gonna settle for anything less, I suppose. By no means an easy solution, but perhaps the only one worthy of pursuit. Of course, this new Garlemald must remain a sovereign nation, free from the oversight of others. And better than the previous Garlemald, I suppose. They would see no meaning in it otherwise. If I'm not mistaken, Alphino and Alice have already made strides in helping the people here regain some normalcy in their day-to-day living, a most important first step, but it will mean little without proper leadership. Rather than a single individual, perhaps a governing body of sorts would prove more effective. There are a number of former Senate members among the refugees in Camp Broken Glass, as I recall. With their help, creating the framework for new governance is not an impossibility. Then let us call the people together and see what they make of our proposal. I wonder if we get to fight the blasphemy. Or no, I guess. They look so defeated. I mean, no wonder, but the final days has taken much from you all. I can but imagine the pain you feel in the face of such immeasurable loss. And though the final days have been averted, its effects yet linger, and a blasphemy has been born of your suffering. Decisive action must be taken before further harm is brought upon you. To overcome such adversity is too great a task for any one person, but as people united, there may yet be hope for the morrow. While it is not our place to decide how you will move forward, we would offer a small measure of guidance. Yeah, I don't think they like us too much. We were told a number of former members of your Senate yet remain among you. Would you be amenable to an interim government led by these individuals until such time as Garlemald can be rebuilt? Rebuild Garlemald. Is such a thing truly possible? It's possible if they decide that it's possible. Even if we do cobble together some governing council, they won't be making anything of that pile of ash we dare call Garlemald. There's no going back to Locus and Manus either. Rack and ruin. Those are our only option. Well, he sounds like the next one to turn, anyway. I realize to rebuild Garlemald is a seemingly impossible task, but you needn't undertake it alone. My children are working with members of the First Legion as we speak to begin an organized relief effort, and there are others from the provinces no doubt willing to lend their expertise. You need but ask, not as would-be conquerors, but as brothers and sisters of the Star, and others will heed your call. I love how he now says, like, my children, and we started his, whole story with him renouncing them as his kids. If you should still see no merit in the rebuilding of Garlemald, then I would instead offer you residency in Australia. I promise you will be welcomed with open arms. What, they don't need all those visas that we needed when we first went there? What? No? Nah. Charlian, so now you'd expect us to go and lick boots in some country we've never even heard of. I could stay here and rebuild. My apologies if I appeared overly forward in my proposition. Considering our strict policies on non-intervention until but recently, it is not surprising that you are unfamiliar with my homeland. It is an island nation to the north, home to myriad peoples, which is why I believe it would not prove difficult to accommodate you and yours. To be clear, you would not be migrating to Charlian to live in servitude. You have my word that each and every one of you would be guaranteed citizenship upon entry. And why exactly would you go to such lengths for us, for the conquerors you barely know? Because everyone in this game has a heart. Everyone! Charlian was long aware of the coming doom that would be the final days, and so we're preparing to evacuate the star, taking as many people and resources as our stores would allow. Initially, it was our intent to save the people of Garlemald as well, but we have not forgotten your transgressions invading Alamigo, your rejection of our entreaties for peace. After a great deal of deliberation, it was decided that we would forego an invitation to Garlemald, a determination made with great trepidation. Like using, some big words there. We had convinced ourselves it was ultimately for the greater good, though I can think of at least one individual who would continue to protest. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably say is not wisdom, it is indolence. Sage counsel I brazenly cast aside when confronted with the final days in earnest. Pavi here and his companions refused to forsake those we were otherwise unwilling to save. With great risks to themselves, they achieved the impossible and opened my eyes to the error of the Forum's decision. I mean, I love how this reminds me of like the intro story of Ishgard just a little bit. How Aimrek was one, well, not in his shoes, but kind of a similar attitude when he first arrived to where was the Camp Dragonhead? I think that was where was the meeting with Aimrek? Like when he was first, oh no, we're not gonna like intervene, and then somehow they allow us in, and like everything changes. It's pretty cool. If all other roads lead to ruin regardless, perhaps we should at least consider it. I don't know. I think rebuilding a new Garlemald may not be a bad idea, but if they don't want to live in the snow, which I understand, then it would be my pleasure to invite you all to Camp Broken Glass, where you shall have warm food and beds both. Yeah, basically we just want him to not turn, if possible, in any way. So, everyone goes? Guess so. Admiral Merlwood and I shall speak with Maxima and the others, and consider how best to assist the Guardians moving forward. Should we broach the subject of the blasphemy, however, we will not hesitate to call upon you. I bet. I love how well this is done. Like, them leaving the footsteps in the snow too and everything. They pay attention to these details that are just awesome. Okay, I guess we... Whatever do I want to choose? I don't know. What else? Okay. Though visibly relieved the Guardians are safe, the hardness and fortunate's eyes suggest your work is far from over. With the Guardian's heart at ease, the likelihood of others turning has greatly diminished. That said, it is no cause for us to grow complacent. We must needs find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protective warding. If I understand correctly, a blasphemy's behavior is oftentimes influenced by the memories and emotions of their originator, in which case it would be prudent to learn more of the man who birthed this monstrosity. How fortunate is then that a number of soldiers from the Third Legion are in our custody. For a mercy, their tempering was not so severe as to be beyond our ability to heal them. They are presently being treated at Camp Broken Glass. Perhaps the camp's intelligence officer can tell us who among them knows aught of Nerva's whereabouts. Well, we know where he is. But we're not like 100% about it yet, I suppose. But who is the guy stalking us? Maybe that's not Nerva at all. I thought that's Nerva. I wonder. Huh. Well, we'll find out. Find out who's so interested in us. I see. Perhaps it'd be best if you speak with Virgilla, legatess of the Third Legion. She's still on the mend, but the Courageans aren't like to oppose a brief conversation. If you would wait here a moment. Eorzea's champion, I presume, and one of her cohorts. Wow, that's rich. What business have you with me? Engelbert is faced with imminent crisis, and we believe the knowledge you bear may be the key in stopping it. Thus do we believe the blasphemy to be Nerva, his whereabouts in the wake of Garlemald's fall, or lack thereof, give credence to our theory. Lord Nerva. From what we have pieced together thus far, you were one of the last ones to see him alive. Please will you not share with us what you know? Very well. Though I suspect what meagre knowledge I possess shall avail you not. I last spoke with Lord Nerva shortly after the warring with the First Legion began. Cloistered within the lower levels of the Cenaculum Imperialis, he spent the better part of the day listening attentively to the radio. He seemed hopeful for, or perhaps desperate for news that the tide might turn in our favor. The next day I left for the front line. It was there I heard a terrible noise, which I assume came from the Tower of Babel. That darkness took me, and I remember naught after that. I was told the radios protected those close to them from the effects of the tower. in which case Lord Nerva would have remained unaffected. But he has ever been devoted to Garland, for glory everlasting, he would say. To watch the empire he loved so dearly crumble, I can think of no one who would be more stricken by the sight. It would seem we were right to assume what became of Nerva. And it does not surprise me the beast would choose to make its nest within the Tower of Babel. It stands atop the remains of the imperial palace, and the throne here revered so highly. But the Empire is no more, and Lord Nerva apparently is no longer the man he once was. He deserves to be laid to rest, together with his dreams of glory. It's really cool how they actually tied the story. We will fell the beast. You have my word. Is that like now? Now we truly have everyone. No, we haven't seen Ian yet. I don't think. Apologies for the interruption. Kanasena has arrived and we are ready to depart. It's good to see you, V, Master Fortunato. I have spoken with Lawrence of the War protecting the blasphemy, and I'm quite confident some matter of ether-based magic bars our path. If I may be so bold, Elder Seetsier, we reached the same conclusions initially, but that simply is not possible. These creatures born of the final days are devoid of ether. As such, they would be unable to produce such a barrier in a manner to which we are accustomed. Do you suppose it is possible they manipulated dynamis to achieve a similar effect? I too thought to dismiss the notion of a barrier fueled by ether. That is until I stepped foot here in Gylemont. Even now I can sense streams of ether flowing toward the tower. Huh. So, not them? Maybe someone else? Its purpose was, after all, to harvest reserves of energy sufficient to reach the moon. Even if one was incapable of manipulating ether directly, it stands to reason control of the tower would alleviate such a need. It is merely conjecture, of course. I cannot say for certain until I have examined the currents with my own eyes. Might I ask you to accompany us? I would join you as well, if I may. My injuries would keep me from being of use in battle, but my knowledge of the land should serve just as well as my blade. He's so pretty, I want to take a screenshot. I would not be opposed to your company, but it is not my decision to make. She may go, so as long as she remains under watch by you and the others. Very good. I suggest we begin with Regio Urbanissima. I sense the greatest confluence of ether in that vicinity. Those are the same boots. That's the same guy again. Person. Okay, that's where we go. With an appropriate mount too. I love this mount, to be honest. I don't know. I know it's so old and everyone has it, but it's just so cool. I think there's a similar mount like this in the Mog Station. I think it's red, and like people just don't buy that one. That one is so pretty as well. But I understand why. It's kind of a reskin of a mount that everyone knows, and for some reason people are just not attached to it. As I thought, the ether stream here flows towards the tower, as do all others in this region, no doubt. Like, how does she do that? That's so cool. This convergence first began when the Telophoroi erected spires in all corners of Eorzea to fuel the Tower of Babel. But once destroyed, this divergence of ether should have ceased. But like the tunnels or whatever, like the pathways are still there. They're just like being used again. Alright, whoever you are, if you've business with us, quit your skulking about in the shadows and speak your piece. Was you there in the tower, wasn't it? Okay. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised if he knows. Oh wow! My, you are sharper than you look. What is he doing here? What? That's crazy. I recognize you. Nero, yes, why are you following us? I did not see that coming. Who said I'm following you? Being a native of Garlemald, does it not stand to reason I might be inclined to come and see what has become of my home? I know not what you're scheming, but we have no time to entertain your games. Perhaps Master Garland would make better company for you. Spare me. I'm a man of great ambition and greater intellect, far beyond the scope of anything Garland could hope to achieve. He still keeps his head in the clouds, while I would set my sights to the stars beyond. That's rough. Which is why you snuck into the tower. But like us, you couldn't get past the blasphemy to reach the transporter. Yes, well, I was very much hoping you could dispense us with that little obstacle. Not that bright, right? And having caught wind of your plans, curiosity compelled me to see if you were truly up to the task. How about you help us? Do you have reason to believe we are not? Or perhaps does the great genius Nero mean to dispense with the blasphemy himself? Far be it from me to steal your glory, having come all this way. But as I'm feeling generous, I will tell you what I learned during my time in the Tower of Babel. I was able to access its systems, you see, and discovered one of those dreadful spires still appears to be active. Impossible. They all vanished when Anima was destroyed. Yes, and I've heard of your escapades reclaiming the remains of the Emperor, but obviously you failed to reclaim his entire body, as it stands a piece of remains powering a tower at Fabrica. Ah, yes, the manufacturing district, just north of the erstwhile Imperial Palace. A rather impressive feat, considering how these lands are so utterly devoid of ether, barely enough to sustain life, yet alone the spire. But if one were to use Varus's remains to forcibly create a confluence of swords. Precisely, and from what I gleaned of the tower systems, his heart serves as its core. Coursing not with blood, but your precious ether, and now Nerva has amassed a surfeit to shore up his defenses. How fortuitous he should find so perfect an impetus for his design, stolen from better minds than his own. How very like him. That's gross. Did I say that aloud? You'll forgive me if I fail to show concern for your ire. He did totally say that out loud. If what you say is true, these lands could never hope to recover from such a paucity of life energies. We must hurry and find Varus's heart, to both spare the lands this wanton harvesting, and deny the blasphemy the source of its protection. Are we to presume you have any intention of aiding us? As I said, I have no intention of stealing your glory, though I fear victory may soon slip through your fingers if you do not act quickly. The Tower of Babel was designed specifically for Anima to serve at its core. Nerva forcing himself upon the system has caused it to grow increasingly unstable. If my calculations are correct, and they always are, it won't be long before his presence triggers a system meltdown. The resulting explosion will destroy whatever tenuous streams of ether breathe life into the lands of Garlemald. But more importantly, we will lose our only means of reaching the moon. The heavens forever denied my genius. How so very unfortunate. In any event, would seem time is of the essence. Begin life anew in Charlian. Rebuild Garlemald? No, there's no point in entertaining so lofty of a dream, and we would sooner die than suffer life under the rule of another. You would sooner seek death than sanctuary. Your resolve is admirable, but sorely misplaced. If you would not see Garlemald rise from the snow and ashes here in Ilsabard, might you consider venturing onto a new frontier? A new frontier? And where exactly is this land ripe for exploration? There, on the moon. Wants to send Garlands to the moon? What? You can't just like toss them there? It is our goal to create a repository of man's knowledge there, free from the jurisdiction of any nation. So he wants them to be his moon librarians? As I understand, the magic and technological advancements of Garlemald were without peer. Your expertise would be indispensable in the endeavor, should you be willing, of course. I knew there was like a, some sort of a back intention for them to listen to him. Really expect us to go and live on the bloody moon? This is a thing even possible. Have you a better alternative? I don't know, moon bigger than Charlotte? Lest you forget, Garlemald did not rise to grandeur from complacency in the present of rumination in the past. We live for the future. It's in our blood. Life is not without its hardships, of course. Even I am met with the occasional stumbling block. But when I should stumble, my eyes are forever fixed skyward, seeking ever greater heights. The Empire might be lost, but I still possess a great deal of knowledge gained from it and a desire to seek more. The very notion of exploring the moon is an unprecedented prospect, and that you would balk at the proposition boggles the mind. Consider this. You have heard the beasts of the final days were born in those hapless souls that had given up on everything, yes. If that is indeed the case, can you tell me why you still stand before me? Because deep down you believe your life is yet worth living. Deep down you long to reach for the unreachable. Man, I love him. Or perhaps you don't. If you should choose to lay down and die here in the snow, that is none of my concern. Watch them go lie in the snow and be like, I'm gonna die here. Reach for the unreachable. That sounds like something I would have said back at the academy. Alright, we'll go. I suppose it's better than dying here in the snow, as you so grimly put it. And we must first dispense with the blasphemy that commands the tower. It's so hard to believe Lord Nerva, of all people, could be turned into one of those monsters. Please, you must stop him. Put his soul to rest. Thank you, and sorry for causing all this trouble. Thank you for the rousing call to action, but I thought you had no interest in meddling in our affairs. Lest you misunderstand, I abhor the idea of my countrymen blindly following nobles they know next to nothing about. Besides, it would be a most piteous sight for not a single Garlean to be among those venturing to the moon. Who else am I to prevail upon to who else am I to prevail upon to learn of new findings up there? Oh, we actually get tenses. Tens. Okay. Alright, so Forlorn Glory. Fortunat is eager to regroup and make ready for battle. I guess this is gonna be the final quest. From what Nero has told us, time is now a luxury we can ill afford. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, if only for the moment. The others are no doubt finishing their preparations for battle. I almost read that as fishing their preparations. No one's fishing. Okay. Let's go back. It's conveniently close. I don't know actually if this is gonna be like the last quest of the whole quest line or not. But considering we're like going into battle, I would say so. Movie time. should hope the other's absence means all proceeds apace. Good, you're here. With the recent arrival of reinforcements, our preparations are all but complete. There he is! Apologies for our lateness. It seems we are least in time to help deliver the crushing blow. I can't read today. And if the fates are kind, this will be the last we see of these damnable blasphemies. Commander Alden, Lord Ian, thank you both for coming. Yes, of course. Understood. Lawrence and the others have reclaimed Barris's heart. The barrier protecting the blasphemy should soon dissipate. Then the time has come, at last, to storm the Tower of Babel. Like, I wonder if we, like, go into the, like, dungeon, but some sort of, like, instant version where we are the only ones there. Well, the only ones, but, like, the group of people that we have here, without additional party members. I'm not sure how it works. Admiral Merlewhip and Lord Aimric await our arrival at Innspace. Then we should be about it, eh? I suppose this is a good opportunity as any to keep my hammer from rusting over. I will accompany you as well. As the forum's representative and a member of the survey team, I feel it is my responsibility to see this through to the end. You sure you wouldn't rather wait here? I didn't take you for the fighting type. He is a sage, but... I guess he's back? Despite appearances, I'm no stranger to the battlefield. Indeed, I've seen my fair share, traveling the world in service to the farm. Though I may not be the equal of Aphano or Alice, we shall not find ourselves wanting. I promise you that much. Alright, I guess I got myself a healer. I wonder what kind of duty there will be. When you have all finished your preparations, we shall reconvene at the Anceladeum. Anceladeum? I don't know how to read this. Oh, let's go. But like, all you get as a quest reward is like, I don't know, 6 oh, these are options. You get like 3 materias. They are 10s though, so... Okay, I guess we fly there. Okay, so I guess this is that final duty. Oh, this is gonna be fun. All are present and accounted for. Shall we proceed? Your progress through the battle will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. So there's gonna be more enemies, I guess. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, the progress will be lost. Okay. Well, this is it. Hopefully we are not defeated, though. I do like his hammer. Our objective is simple. Locate and eliminate the blasphemy Nerva. Though the barrier guarding him is no more, a number of beasts will surely block the way at the auxiliary sector. So I'm going to assume that this is like a mini dungeon that we're just gonna kind of have to do a lot. Oh. Off to a smashing start, I see. It would seem the tower will reach its limit sooner than I anticipated. If we're to save the transporter, we must hurry and find Nerva now. So maybe they will let me play as one of them. Maybe I don't play as myself. I wonder. Okay. Should go without saying, but stay on your guard. There was quite the menagerie of horrors when I was last here. Oh, cool! They added like the little portraits of people, like when they speak to you through these little like bubble thingies. Like up here, you get to see the picture now. Cool. Okay. That's actually pretty awesome. I don't know if I should have gone as a tank, but I think we should be just fine. Who knows how long this is, though? Oh, we'll try not to make a big deal out of it. Everyone's fine. Do you know what? Like, I played a lot of healer duties recently, and let me tell you, it's a big relief to not have to think about everyone's HP at all times. Now I should hold them off. Press on, my friends. Alright. Where exactly do we press on?
The winds favor us!
The winds favor us! Persistent lot, aren't they? And I like how the speech bubbles, like at the top, they're actually sticking around for a longer time. At least I think so, because I used to have a lot of trouble with like not having enough time to read. But now it's fine. Or maybe it's the same, I don't know. Actually, what I want to try out is oh wow. Huh. That's crazy. They actually super buff this. Wow. Okay. Where do we go? Okay, so basically you get to do the dungeon on your own. These are the models of these blasphemies look actually kind of familiar. I think we saw some similar ones in the like doing MSQ. I think we're all fine. I don't think anyone's getting wrecked, but more are coming. Stay sharp. We shall try. Oh, ooh. This is so cool. This is like a legitimate, like, mini dungeon of a sort. Wow, they did such a good job. Yeah, yeah, they made, okay, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but they made like a mini dungeon that you have to go through basically on your own.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
Yeah, well, it's not a spoiler. It's a duty. How is that a spoiler? You obviously there's gonna be a duty. Come on, like how is this a spoiler? It is not. It is literally as far away from a spoiler as it could be. No, it was. Look at this. Like I'm
not looking.
Not you. Oh my god. It's like I move away, and he just like fortunately tried to stay as close to me as possible. It's like one of those people in a dungeon who carrying an AoE right into someone because they think they can. But Pally feels so smooth. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's... My thanks! Yeah, no biggie. Okay. If we're tanking, let's at least do it properly. I don't even have my tank stance on. I was taking this very casually.
That's the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, well, whatever. You shouldn't be noticing anything. You shouldn't be looking. It's a spoiler. We have Imrek with us. Like, why would I? Or no, we don't have him. Never mind. I thought I wasn't the main tank anyways. That's the first thing I noticed. That's great. What are these? Are they like bombies? Kinda look like it. They're self-destructing? What? Am I supposed to get rid of them somehow? Oh. Looks like it. Okay, whatever is he doing? I don't think I can kill them. I think, okay. Okay, I think we just need to finish them off. Enough! Maybe I should have been here instead. There more? No? Oh, this one's gonna self-destruct too. Maybe I should have been fighting this one instead. That's amazing. It's not even turning towards me. Whatever. Can we make it? I definitely should have been fighting this one. This one is a piece of work. Uh-oh. We're gonna make it in time? Okay. Cutting it very close here. There we go. All good. Oh, that is ugly. Is that the last of them? Aww, these are kinda cute. I don't know if that horse exists as a mount, but it's so cool. Of course not. We can't afford them to impede our advance any further. Commander Alden, let us hold them here. Master Foshnov, take the others and go. Quickly. Understood. Alright, go. Okay, so we're leaving them behind, saying good luck, and we're out of here. Ooh. Is that that is Nerva. Wow, that is such a cool model though, I'm not gonna lie. Leave now. Garlemald is mine. Mine. Okay, let's do this. Can we do this without dying? This ends here. For Garlemald, for all the people that are blasphemer. No, I will not suffer anyone who gets in my way. For glory everlasting. Garlemald. Rise, my legion. What does that mean? Ads? Death take you. No thank you. Not if I can help it. How many of them are there? I don't even understand how I got hit. What now? Hey, what? Hold on, yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, okay. Pulled me out of danger. Amazing. Must take the offensive. What do you think we've been doing this whole time? What's apocalypsis? Uh-oh. Okay, well, we were not too late with this. Target out of sight. I doubt it. I honestly doubt it. I can see him very well. And I should probably not be pointing at our healer. What is Grave Ego? Oh, okay, I can still be where Nero is. At least he moved away, right? Apocalypsis is... I forgot what that was. Okay. I remember. I can stand there, right? One of the famous last questions. I can stand in it. Can I not? It's a gorgeous fight though, isn't it? It's gonna be the little squares again? I'm just gonna move where Fortunaut is, and I think we'll be fine. Is that it? Summon. Who are you summoning? Stop it. Are we supposed to, we're probably supposed to be doing something. Am I, like, standing in something? I don't think so. Behind me, quickly! Do we need to, like... Maybe I wasn't behind. Okay. Let's drive it back. We'll try. Do we have like a time limit of some sort? So wait, if we break the breaking point, are we not exposed? Come too far to give up now. Yeah, why would we give up? We're almost done. Let's put an end to this. Whatever is he talking about? Whoever mentioned giving up? We're doing so well. Yo, I'm not failing this duty, am I? What? Amazing. Oh. Am I getting hit there? There we go. We done? Done! Got him. No. How does he get 4 heads as a blasphemy? That is so wild. For glory everlasting indeed. Like when you hear a bunch of metal clanking before they arrive, you know who's coming. Is it over? Has the danger passed? By a hair's breadth, perhaps, but yes. I'd say we managed to avoid a fiery ruin. Not run. My reading today is on point. Our path to the moon is open once more. The duty of Charlene has ever been to chart the course of history, not to change it. Thus, we fervently hold to our policies of neutrality and non-intervention. In truth, it was all in service to our plans of exodus, to abandon the star to its ruinous fate. Though it may sound, I still believe it was ultimately for the greater good. Thanks to you and your comrades, however, it was a fate that did not come to pass. Charlotte will now find a new way forward, not merely for the preservation of knowledge, but for the betterment of the star and all who call it home. I believe I speak for all of the farm when I say it would be an honor and a privilege to work towards such a goal alongside the allied nations. Aye, an age of true and everlasting peace is finally within our grasp, and we will seize it together. Aww. Okay. I'm getting movie after movie. It is a relief to know we've no longer a need for battle. Despite my experience, I must confess I am ill-suited to do it. The allied nation leaders, meanwhile, demonstrated an aptitude for combat far above what I might expect from diplomatic figures. Prejudice, right? And you, my friend, I see now why you are so well regarded as Eorzea's champion. The others have already begun the arduous journey home. But before you go, I would offer a word of thanks to the both of you. If not for your timely assistance, our plans would be forfeit, and the lands of Isambard forever defiled by the blasphemy. Please, I have no need for your platitudes. I labor only to further my own ends, nothing more. Well, of course. But his ends often collide with our ends, so... We heard the news. Thank you for everything. With Lord Nerva laid to rest, we've the peace of mind to move on without regret. Aww. I wonder if this is the first time they see a Lopper. There you are. Now, what's this I've heard about you cleaning out the Tower of Babel? Are we finally ready to return to the moon? What fortuitous timing. Allow me to introduce you to Livingway of the Lopperites, moon dweller and overseer of the survey team. Livingway, these good people will be the moon's first residents. I trust you and the other Lopperites will take good care of them. Like we're gonna be taken care of by rabbits? Pleased to meet you? Residents? Oh no! I mean, oh yes, splendid. After many, many long years of planning and preparation, the moon is absolutely, most definitely ready to accommodate your stay. Yeah, with like all the carrots and really crappy glam. Glad to hear it, and apologies for the delay. I must first confer with Lawrence and see to our final preparations, but your residents-to-be and the survey team shall be a long year long. Might I trouble you to relay word of our success to Sherband and Radz at hand? I should think the tidings all the more heartening coming from you. Until next we meet. That was a good questline, wasn't it? Not disappointed. Wait, you're not leaving for the moon without me! Go, go! Yeah, that was definitely a good conclusion to that story. It's just, what stinks a bit is that it's so gated behind like a bunch of things you need to do to get there in the first place. Like you need to level what, 5 different jobs to 90 and then do all the role quests with them? It's a lot of time and a lot of story, and I know that a lot of people do have jobs leveled up and that it's not a problem for them, but it feels like such a crucial part of the story in a way that it just kind of sucks that it just kind of sucks that it feels like it's unavailable to most people who don't have them. So it's true then, the blasphemy entitlement has been struck down. They were right to call on you, it seems. And with no other outstanding reports of blasphemy sightings, I dare say you've slain the last of them. Perhaps now we can finally start to put the final days behind us, strange though that may sound. On behalf of my fellow delegates and the radiant host, I extend to you our humblest thanks. I hope when I next call on you, it will be under more fortuitous circumstances. No, I thought that was really satisfying. We got the... Okay, do we get anything for that achievement? Or is it just a... No, we get a... Blessed Relief. Is that a title? That kind of is a title. Okay. Well, not kind of. It is one. But anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the questline. I had a blast. I think it's a very good one. But like as I said, I don't know, I wish it was, more approachable and available to more people, because I feel like it's a really big part of the story. But in any case, it's definitely worth it. So if you don't have your jobs level just yet, and if you'd like to replay this in case you haven't played it yourself just yet, you definitely should. In case you are not a part of our Discord community, make sure to drop by. You can find a link down in the description. If you haven't subbed to the channel yet, you can do so by clicking the sub button and staying in touch with all the other content. If you'd like to support the content, you can do that here as a YouTube member or over on Patreon. It is very much appreciated and it helps things around here running. That is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!